Hello! Now, we're doing something different today. We are looking at Gmod maps, but instead of looking at other people's weird and strange maps, we're just gonna look at mine. Now, I imagine finding my maps are pretty easy, because there has been a few times where they have gotten to the front of the workshop. So if we just filter it to map, and then search, I don't know, like SCP, and scroll down a bit, you'll already find these four are all made by me. And then you can click on my profile, and then it will take you to all my maps, like so. So I'm just gonna install all of the ones that are basically interesting, or strange, or just straight up me testing how to make maps on Garry's Mod. There is SCP ones. They're not scary, they're just weird. I never really liked horror maps in Gmod, I thought it was a bit silly. Yeah, let me just install everything and then we can go through them all. I'm just going to install everything because a lot of them are very short, and this will make the video very short. So I'm just going to get everything. If you want to access my maps, you can just basically do what I did with searching SCP or search Inside Chernobyl. Just search for any of these names. It will take you to my maps and my profile. And yes, for those screaming at me to download all of the necessary source content, I have done that. I have Counter-Strike, I have all the Half-Life games. You can stop saying it now, I've got them all. Alright, so the first one, GM Ambient build. So here we are. Now this is a map I made for my Gmod server, which is currently up, but by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be gone. The server's gonna shut down in June. So I made all these like boards and stuff explaining the server and links and whatnot. I also use portal doors to get players where they need to go. So this is an entirely different area of the map. As you can see, very trippy. Makes no sense at all. So there isn't really much to see. It's pretty much just a sandbox server. Got an ambient build sign over there. Got a stream. Pretty much like any normal Gmod sandbox map. Has a lot to offer. There's an underground section. And that's about it, really. Now the next map is the Backrooms. I think I've done a few videos on this map. It's my version of the Backrooms. There's been many versions of the Backrooms on Garry's Mod. Here it is. Goes on forever. I think I also use portal doors to make this seem like it's infinite. Yep. Like this area here teleports you into an entirely different area of the map. So these are the spawn points. You go through here. I added some custom soundtrack to the background. This was pretty easy and fun to make. It's mostly just a roleplay map, or a scenic map. But yeah, that's about it for this one too. Now on to the next one, Inside Chernobyl. It's probably the best map I've ever made, and the most complicated map I've ever made. It's set inside Chernobyl, literally. You're in the Chernobyl reactor control room. I had to do a lot of research to make this as accurate as possible, but there is a whole video on this if you really want to know about it. Here's the outside, very cool. If you go down there, it takes you to the reactor, but you can only go down there if the reactor is blown up, because you know you can't words. So you could go through all of the steps to make this blow up by like turning it all on, like so, or you can just press this button here and it'll instantly blow it up. And then any second now, the reactor is blown up. Oh my, the windows have broken. There's fire and smoke. If you go down here, you can see the reactor. Wow. Oh my god. Oh, I'm dying. Now the next one is GM Flatgrass Islands. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's flat grass, but on an island. I need to redo this sometime, because it's kind of scuffed. It's very unoptimized, and the beach looks like it's been cut by a razor or something. But I suppose it's good. It's good enough. I think it got pretty popular as well at one point. This one's a GM Portal Test 2. I think I've showed you guys Portal Test. I think I showed you it but without the portals. This is it with the portals. So you can spawn something here, for example, and it replicates it entirely. It's using the same sort of tool as what the portals use in the game Portal and Portal 2. Look at that, trippy. Next one is GM SCP. It's the SCP-106 backstory map. I think everyone's probably seen it. It's the weird pocket universe where there's like planes flying over the world. There's like giant, weird, spooky plane things. Where are they? There's one. Oh, spooky. Yeah, I tried to make this to the best of my ability. I couldn't actually make the trenches, so I had to make walls instead to make it seem like you're in a trench. I think there's also a secret underground spot. Yeah, right here. This takes you to the goop level. Yeah, that's about it for this map as well. Pretty simple. Plus it'll probably end up giving me a copyright strike, so I can't play on it. SCP-1218. I can't remember the names of... I can't actually remember the plot of a lot of these maps. Let's just have a look anyway. Oh no, this is an SCP that basically just... It's just a mirror. Again, these are all just maps. There's no jump scares or horror aspects to it. It's just weird. Mainly made for posing and whatnot. This is one of my first few maps. So it's... You can tell it's a bit bumpy. Especially the lighting. The lighting looks like garbage. SCP-1499. Again, I can't remember what any of these SCPs are. Oh, this was the gas mask universe. Yeah, this again is just made for roleplay or posing or anything really. SCP-2915. Is this the Wendy's? Maybe? It is. It's the Wendy's. I made a Wendy's. There is a Wendy's map I made without the SCP part. So you go in here. Music. This is all world mesh. None of these are models. This is before I knew how to model in Blender. Bathroom. Modeled sink from world mesh. I think it looks pretty good. It's so dumb. Oh, I love it though. Go back here, and then you'll find the kitchen. And this here is the SCP. Now this SCP is a bottomless pit. It just goes on forever. Yeah, I think there might be a teleport. Yeah, there is. There's a teleport that makes it feel like it goes on forever. It doesn't actually go on forever. Well, it does go on forever, because you just get teleported constantly backwards and forwards. I was going to use the world portals, but you can't actually put them sideways. I ended up just giving up on making this seamless. How this works is it just teleports you down shafts over and over. But yeah, that's about it for this one as well. SCP-3008, didn't finish that one. I've showed that in the previous video, it's just missing textures. SCP-3930-2. Oh, what's this? Oh yes, this was my first official map ever made. It's just a void. It isn't really, yeah, it's just a black void. You just fall forever. Oh, yeah, you actually get brought back to the top. This isn't actually official to this SCP. This SCP is a black void of its nothingness. This map is not accurate to this SCP at all. I don't know why I did this. SCP-398. What's this? I don't know any of these. I can't believe that. 398. Oh, this one I'm pretty happy with. So this SCP is just like an infinite hallway, essentially, and it changes every time you spawn back in. I think this one in particular takes you to a door, which oh god, it takes you to a bottomless pit. And you just fall forever. So this is how this works. There's multiple hallways with multiple spawn points. In the game randomly puts you on one of those spawn points. There's blood here. And spooky sounds. There's a hallway. With terrifying ambience. Get it? Ha! There's this hallway which is just a vertical drop. And there's this one which is like a fancy hallway. All British-esque. But yeah, that's about it for this map as well. It's just bugger all to show, really. If you want to try them out, you can try them out. And then we have the room test map. Now this one's like a magical sequenced event map. So you're in the map, the next area. This was mainly me testing custom textures and stuff. I think that's all that happens. Is there anything beyond here? Oh look, it's dev textures. You're not meant to be back here. Incredibly small map, probably the smallest map you're ever gonna find in the world. And then the last one is Wendy's. It's the non-SCP version of the Wendy's map. I was pretty happy when I made this because I didn't think it was gonna work, because I did a lot of bad things like this wall here. I don't know why I didn't fix that. I don't think you can actually see it, can you? Oh god, you can. Why didn't I fix that? A few people have played on this. I think Venturian Tale did a roleplay, one of his weird ass roleplay videos on this. There's a back door that's incredibly slow. Another back door. Trash. That's about it, yeah. I mean, I could show you guys my Half-Life Alyx maps if you want me to. It isn't exactly Gmod, but put it down in the comments if you want to see that as well. But yes, thank you for watching, and goodbye.